Hi, my name's Mothiur Rahman, and I'm one of the nine climate emergency independents standing for the EU elections. There are nine of us, seven of us in London, and two of us in the southwest, myself and Latch Maxi. We've seen the difference that we can make through Extinction Rebellion as activists for that movement. We've seen the government now beginning to tell the truth. MPs came out on Marble Arch stage towards the end. There was a huge shift at the tipping point when these MPs came out. Michael Gove has agreed to speak with and engage with Extinction Rebellion. Many of the activists went to see their MPs actually in Parliament as well. So that's been amazing to see that shift and to see the opening of that conversation. But on another level as well, what this telling the truth has shown is that what we can be as human beings when we work together and act together from a place of cohesion and truth-telling. And our demands are the same as Extinction Rebellion, the telling the truth, the need to act now. We have a date there of 2030 for the net zero carbon emissions for Europe. And of course, but also to move beyond the party politics, which we also want through citizens' assemblies, through the European Parliament. So we want to take this message to the European Parliament, and we know there have been many, many movements also around the world and within Europe. And so this is to take that message to the European Parliament. And that message also is this. I mean, I really want to stand behind this book as well, which is called Team Human. And it's telling the truth about what we can be when we act together as a team. So it says here, our technologies, markets and cultural institutions, once forces for human connection and expression, now isolate and repress us. It's time to remake society together, not as individual players, but as the team we are. And that is what I saw playing out in Extinction Rebellion, but we were becoming that team, we were beginning to act together. I have an article in a magazine called Resurgence and Ecologist in the new issue about Extinction Rebellion, and it's called Becoming More Human for Planetary Integrity. But we need to find that which is in us that can take us to find what it is that makes us human and bring that out more, bring out those values and that connection with each other. I mean, I nearly withdrew from this EU election because I was told that I might be splitting the Green vote. And then I saw that Tommy Robinson was putting himself forward for the Northwest. And I thought, I can't withdraw, I can't. There is a need for a more positive voice from a Muslim source. I started Extinction Rebellion Muslims because I felt that there was a positive contribution that Muslims of this country and other countries can make. We are born to this country and we are part of this country and we are part of this land, and this land welcomes us. And I've written an article for Critical Muslim around what I felt was the positive contribution that Muslims could bring from a Muslim conscience, a civic conscience, to this need for this team player aspect. So where I'm coming to is that we need to go further than the Green vote. We need to go further than just that. We need to actually counter the emotions of fear that Tommy Robinson is calling upon to create a politics of hatred. We need to create a politics of love, if I can say that. And Marianne Williamson, who's a self-help guru, is standing for president in the US. And when I saw that, and she was saying, we need to stand for a politics of love, that gave me the courage to actually say those words here right now. And I quote Martin Luther King as well, and he said that power without love is reckless and abusive. And that is what we've had. We've had neoliberalism. We've had now this politics of fear and hatred, where power is separated from love. And then we have the other part of Martin Luther King's quote, love without power is sentimental and anemic. And we've also had that where those voices that do speak for truth and for love are not involved in the political conversation. And we need to bring these two worlds together. And I'll end with a poem of mine that I've called to try to bring within myself these two worlds as well, the being of two worlds from India and also from the Indian subcontinent, and also born in England. And the poem is called India's Song to the West. Your ancestors saw a bird and decided to dissect it, understand it. You did not do it, but you are not free from it. My ancestors saw a bird swooping over the width of a wide river, marveling at such beauty, singing songs ardent and sweet, the rice harvest rhythms. I do not feel it, but I am not free from it. Let my ancestors meet your ancestors in the love of that which is lost, and in the dark shadows of our longings. Let our young walk again in balance, in beauty. And what I saw in Greta Thunberg, in the way that she speaks and in the way that she brings herself, she is one of those who walks in balance, in beauty. Let us bring and act so that all our children can walk in such a way into the future. Thank you.